down this card. In the co-main event, Movsar Evloev defeats Dan Ige by unanimous decision, earning a 30-26, 30-27, and 30-27 on the judges' scorecards. If you don't know, you got to know by now, and you should remember the name Evloev, Movsar Evloev. He is here to stay. He's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, and he is really quite the serious contender. Omar, let me throw it over to you first this time for this co-main. What was your assessment of Evloev's pretty dominant victory over an awesome guy in Dan Ige?
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew that this was coming for this fight. When we talked about it last week, we talked about the wrestling credentials of Evloev and his ability to kind of keep him down. I thought Ige would have a little bit more success, at least early on, keeping Evloev off of him, or at least being able to get back up a little bit more effectively. But the man is a wet blanket. He did not let Ige do anything for the most part throughout that entire fight. Worked him completely, battered on him. Ige's face was destroyed by the end of that fight. I'm a huge Ige fan. I wanted to see Ige win, but on paper it wasn't good, and on film it was even worse. So, yeah, it was what we expected. It was just still hard to watch.
Mark, do you have anything to add about Evloev's dominance?
Yeah, he's as good as we thought he was. Omar pretty much said it. He did pretty well in the stand-up also, which is very encouraging for him as he kind of wades into this deep end of the featherweight division. The knock on him obviously has been that he doesn't finish any fights, but he was certainly trying here. He had some times where he was really going for it. He just couldn't get him out of there, and I do think he's dangerous enough that it will come for him. And frankly, it may not matter. Like, if he can just keep controlling guys and beating them up, it's not going to matter if he's finishing them. And Ige, as Omar said, Ige's face was messed up at the end of that fight. Like, he certainly took some damage. He was tough, like we said he would be. He made Evloev work, like we said he would. But we also said that Evloev was just too good at implementing his own game, and that's exactly what he did. He kept Ige guessing. He kind of nullified him for, like, big chunks of the fight. And he forced him to fight his fight. It's what he does. He's very overwhelming in there. So, yeah, there was no, like, huge moment, but he was very dominant, and he made a big statement going forward.
Evloev is really knocking on the door of the upper echelon of flyweight in the UFC. However, dude, I'm looking at the roster of the flyweight division right now.
Featherweight.
Excuse me, featherweight. Yes, 145. 145, right now, it is a murderer's row. When you're number 10 guy, I don't know if he's exactly ranked number 10 in the UFC rankings, and I'm interested to see all of these guys of how they stack up in the Prio rankings, Mark. But when you're a guy like Yair Rodriguez is floating around like number 10 in your top 10. Bryce Mitchell is like right at the top of the top 10. Even Dan Ige, Giga Chikadze, and these are the guys who are not even in the top 5 yet. And
where are you looking that Yair is not top 5? That's rude.
Oh, ranking MMA.
Really? Wow. Boo them.
That's where I was looking too, actually.
Where do I got Yair? I got Yair at number 3.
Do you really? Nice.
I sure fucking do.
Dude, he's so good. Anyway, the main point being 145, Murderer's Row. Mark, Evloev, there's a lot of matchups for him still at 145 that he hasn't faced yet. What would you want to do with him next?
So I'm thinking of a guy that's probably not even on these lists because his last fight was at lightweight. But is Ilia Topuria coming back down to featherweight? Because it sounds like he is. He was calling out Evloev after the fight, unless he meant he wanted Evloev to come up to 155 to do it, but I don't think so. But they've been booked before. The fight fell through. It seems like neither of them is too happy about it, and I would love to see that fight. I think that's a crazy fight.
Oh, man. Didn't think of that one myself. Omar, do you have any other names to add? I'm sure there are plenty.
Yeah, I think honestly Evloev came in ready to go with a fight of his own, and it wasn't a really bad fucking call. His shot against Arnold Allen, that's a solid call out.
Oh my God.
Fantastic fight, fantastic matchup, stylistically super interesting. Give me that shit all day.
Yeah. Another name that I would consider is a guy who is coming off of a loss, obviously, but is a super high profile name, and that being Korean Zombie.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. There's like
don't know.
you almost can't go wrong matching up the featherweight top 10. Like it's all, and like they all have different styles. Like it's almost like an old school division.
I don't know if I want Zombie anymore, man. I don't know if I'm there anymore on that train. I think it's time for that boy to just sunset it out.
Hang it up.
I don't think he walks after that. I think he'll at least take one more and hope that he wins it before he walks.
Maybe, but I don't. Yeah,
I mean, he's had some bad knockouts as of late. I mean, between
but that's the thing is the man has never really gotten knocked out now until recently, and he's
beat
taking
up bad by Volk.
He's taking tons of damage to get to that point, and it just the Volk one was just over the top, way over the top.
It was. By the way, Yair is also number 3 in the UFC ranking. So for a second, I thought I was going
really?
crazy. Yeah, as he should be.
Ranking MMA. Why? Interesting. Let's
Ranking MMA usually has decent rankings too. That one
I know.
they're
like the only ranking website that I actually like.
Is it the only thing I could think of is because of inactivity?
Maybe
I think they're
value it heavy.
Yeah, I think they're evaluating the inactivity of Yair's roster right now.
Yeah, boy, I will give a little tidbit of info to the viewers here and to you guys quick. We are in development on a Prio rankings website. I don't know when it's going to be ready, but the development has begun. I have someone working on it for me, so it's happening.
Wow, how cool is that, man?
Yes,
that's dope.
It'll be good.
What I love about ranking MMA, as opposed to UFC.com and looking at UFC's rankings, is that the UFC website, it's like they try to be too slick with the what's the word, Omar? The UI or the UX?
The user interface, the UI.
Yeah. Like ranking MMA, it's just a list of like the names in the division and how they have them ordered. So that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah, Mike or Mark, don't make that website too crazy. Make it look nice, but make it work.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna keep it simple. It's rankings, and that's fucking it. I mean, there'll be some things you can click, but yeah.
Get some pictures in there. People love pictures, man.
All right, let's go on here. Let's just shout out a name real quick in the interest of time, because we got a little bit of a late start tonight, boys, and we're all. I'll say it. We all seem a little lower energy tonight, and that's okay. That's okay. We can meet. I know. Omar, give me a name for Dan Ige. Looking at featherweight, who would you want to see him face next?
So there's 2 fights actually at featherweight that I think would be super interesting. The first one I was looking at was Cub Swanson. Stylistically, I think that's a very interesting fight, just fun to watch. And the other fight I had on my list was actually Hakeem Dawodu. I think that would also stylistically just be a very interesting, fun fight to watch.
Mr. Priya?
I like both of those. I'll go back to one that I throw out there all the time, but I don't think it's ever made more sense than it makes right now, which is to run it back with Edson Barbosa. Both guys have been losing a bit lately. They're at a very similar standing in the division, and that was a super controversial result, and I would love to see them run it back and see who's better once and for all.
Yeah, I didn't know if 2 years was still too soon or not, but